Not you too, Gil. Not you too. We were rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you? Learn something from this. Welcome to La Vida Rosa. I'm your host, Pinky, and today we're going to be talking about Married at First Sight. But before we begin, I would like for everyone to check out my website, lavidarosastyle.com, where you can find cute accessories like the ones I'm wearing right now. One of our best sellers, okay? Like, comment, and subscribe. And without further ado, let's get into this video. I'm so sorry this is up late, you guys. This show has really been draining me. I have enough going on in my life that I don't need something else sucking the life out of me. But I still want the check. So here we are. So y'all, if I keep messing with my hair, it's because like I've had short hair ever since March. And I kind of don't even feel right with long hair. So that's why I keep touching it and trying to fix it. And anyway, at this point, there's 6 days until decision day. I feel like this is definitely a filler episode, but honestly, I'm glad they put this in here because we got to see a different side of Gil, and I'm just looking at Gil like, not you, Gil. Not you too, Gil. Not you too. You was our only hope, okay, for the men. But as for these couples on this show, I'm like, bye. Like, I don't want any of these people to stay together. It's toxic. It's not healthy. It's drug out. It's people playing games. It's people being controlling. It's people being hypercritical. It's people not knowing what they want. It's people, I already said playing games, but overall, that's how I feel. I feel like, why are we going through the motions right now? Why are people who have been having issues this entire time even pretending as if there's a chance? Like, it irritates me. So let's go ahead and get Ryan and Brett out the way, because that's really who I'm talking about. The way he's trying to halfway pretend with his friend as if he kind of wants to try with Brett. Get out of here. We know you got on a dating app for a reason. We know this. Why are you playing this game? Okay? Do you just want the check? Because it's not adding up, Ryan, and I don't want to hear it. I'm so sick of seeing him and his gloomy Gus looking face, that Eeyore attitude, okay? I'm tired of it. We're done, okay? You're done. And since she found out about the dating app, y'all haven't spoken. You moved out without even talking to her, without any sort of communication with her. It's really sad that you can't even tell her face to face how you truly feel. You just sneak around and do things behind her back. You have not been honest and upfront this entire time, and I don't have any sort of respect for that. And I really feel bad for Brett that she got matched up with Ryan, because I feel like she was ready. I feel like she deserved someone that would actually put their all in and not be so superficial. I'm so sorry this is up late, you guys. This episode drained me. This show has really been draining me. I have enough going on in my life that I don't need something else sucking the life out of me. But here we are. I still want the check. So here we are. Because like Brett said, you're not her type either. But she was willing to look past that to see the common ground that y'all might have, but you weren't even willing to do that. Let's move on to Jose and Rachel, another couple that I feel like Jose is on his best behavior because he knows locking Rachel out made him look so bad that he really doesn't have a leg to stand on. He really can't sit up here and put his foot down on anything because you already told your draws with the viewers. So now he's, very agreeable and understanding, but we still see peaks of his true controlling personality whenever the trip conversation comes up and she's talking about how she wants to have a major international trip once every 2 years, and he keeps trying to force upon her, we can do a road trip in the United States, and that's not what she's talking about. That's not what she's talking about, but you're trying to force this on her. And then he's still trying to push a narrative that she'll leave at the drop of a hat. I wonder why she feels that way. I wonder why she would be so ready to leave you. Could it possibly be because of your bad behavior? Could it possibly be because of how you treated her in the past? I literally say this every review, but girl, you need to make sure you keep your own money. I would not move into his home, because you know the first chance he gets, he's going to lock you out. The first chance he gets, he's going to move you out. The first chance he gets, all your clothes is going to be scattered on the front of the lawn. Okay? The first chance he gets, when he doesn't get his way. And then he's going to try to skew it to make it look like you are the villain and he's the victim. So I don't care how he's acting now. He's acting this way on camera. And I just feel like Jose is a control freak. And if you do not follow exactly what he wants, he is going to lash out. I think her friend even sees the writing on the wall with Jose. She told her to hold him accountable. And when she told her about him, you know, writing all these cards to help remind him to be a good husband, which is weird in the first place. You don't need a card to know you don't need to lock your wife out the house. Okay, let me move on, because I feel like I'm saying the same thing over and over. Okay, let's move on to Bao and Johnny. He claims that hearing about her childhood trauma made him feel something for her. Do you truly live to see her in pain? That is what's making you actually like her? The fact that you know that she's been through trauma? Like, it's crazy, because all of Johnny's friends and family literally tell him that he is being too picky and that he's being hard on her. Every time, except for the best friend, which that conversation was not filmed. We don't even know if that conversation actually happened. But every conversation we see on this show where he talks negatively about Bao, they tell him he is being too hard on her every single time. And still, he does not think that anything is wrong with the way he is treating Bao. You have one person that backed you up, her best friend, who seemed like she hating, if you ask me. So later on, when they all hang out together, they start discussing decision day and what a yes on decision day meant and what a no on decision day meant. I'm sorry, I thought yes meant we're going to stay married and we're going to try to make this work. And I thought no means we're going to get these convoluted ideals around what yes or no meant made absolutely no sense. We'll talk more about that when we talk about Michaela and Zach. But I was completely with Bao. She basically said, you can't come back from a no on decision day. Once you say no, the door is closed and it's over. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And thank you. Set your boundaries. Now, I feel like that is the whole point of decision day. And yes, she was speaking indirectly to Johnny, even though she was having the whole conversation with Zach. Anyway, so later on, her and Johnny have a dinner together, and she comes in with her blinged out body yada 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 dress. She looked amazing, by the way. She did look really pretty. And here go Johnny. Oh, now he's attracted again. I thought you haven't been attracted to her in 15 years. All of a sudden she come in body yada yada. Now you attracted. Boy, bye. And I'm glad she didn't even sleep in the same room with you. She wore that dress on purpose, so you could see what you're not gonna get. He's playing too many games. Now he wants to explore and see the possibilities. Bao, shut him all the way down on decision day. Please end this. Put us all out of our misery, okay? Michaela and Zach. She met with her sister, and once again, she's kind of playing the victim when explaining that whole situation that went down between her and Zach on the retreat. Like, she's really, really watering it down. She acts like he thinks she's combative for no reason. Now, he is very confusing. He's very wishy-washy. He's flaky. He says one thing and means another. He's not a good communicator whatsoever, and he would irritate me as well. But where you mess up is your reaction. Your reactions are always, I hate to use the word aggressive, but they are. They're very aggressive, almost violent. Like, you're not putting your hands on him, but you're tearing other things up. And that is a problem as well. And I just feel like somebody needs to call you out. I don't know, do they not know the full story or what? But that needs to be called out. Then she said they went to eat after that last meeting they had with Dr. Pepper, and you know, he asked her to spend the night, and of course she packed her a bag and she stayed the night. I told y'all he be wanting that nookie. I told y'all that that's what he be wanting. Cause You don't want to be with her, but then you want her to spend the night. Y'all claim y'all want to work on this, but she wants to sleep in separate bedrooms one night. That's when you want to leave. That's when you want to leave. That's one of the points where he's trifling, because that is playing with her emotions. The sister sees this and she questions whether he knows he's leading her on or not, or even if he knows what he wants. That's pretty much what I've been saying this entire time about him. Like, I don't even know if he knows what he wants. So later on, when he meets with Gil, Zach says he thinks he's the one who held her accountable for the first time and showed her that she needs to change. Actually, a lot of the things that you do reinforces her behavior. Like, if you would have really put your foot down and actually really walked out instead of getting mad for a couple of days and then inviting her to your bedroom, that's not putting your foot down and holding her accountable. You're actually walking back everything you said when you accept her back into your bedroom without there being any sort of apology or change behavior. He'll say all these negative things about her personality, but then he'll like speak so highly of her. She's one of the best people I've ever met. You know, he'll say things like that, and I'm like, am I missing something? Like I mentioned before, when he was talking with Bao about decision day, he was definitely talking in circles. He was just going around and around and around. My brain could not compute what it is he was getting at. It didn't make any sort of sense whatsoever. It didn't make any sense to Bao either, because she was shutting him all the way down with that. I'm assuming, now this is what I'm assuming what he means. If he says no on decision day, then he's still willing to try afterwards. The only way he would say yes is if the 8 weeks were great, which we know the 8 weeks were not great. So we know you're going to say no. But you're saying your no is not a solid no. And let me tell you something, Zach. Let your yes mean yes and let your no mean no. That's biblical. Okay? Yes mean yes, no means no. You're not finna sit up here and give yes and no a new definition. What is going on here? And then I know there are people typing in my comments right now defending Zach. His behavior makes no sense whatsoever. Stop coddling him. He is a grown man. If he don't want to deal with Michaela, he do not have to. Why does he continue to deal with this situation? It's annoying. Because at this point, I'm thinking he's playing games as well. Bao called him out low key because she said that it's like you're trying to present yourself to the world by saying no. Like, yeah, I'm free. Hey, my DMs are open. Come slide in them. But then you're still trying to have Michaela on the side and telling her something else behind the scenes. And, you know, I'm gonna have to agree with that, because why else would, why? Finally, let's get into Mirla and Gil. Not you too, Gil. Not you too. We were rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you? Learn something from this. Cause child, Gil got on my last nerve this episode. Now, at the beginning of this episode, Mirla is speaking with her friend, and her friend was like, what is your con when it comes to Gil? Because she speaks very, very highly of him. I've never heard her criticize Gil once. I can't think of one time where she's criticized him. Okay? Everything she said has been like positive. She always says that he is above and beyond her expectations of what she wanted out of a husband, right? Her one con is finances. Apparently, she makes almost double what he makes, and he has no savings, and he has just started his career, and she's very, you know, solid in hers. So that would be her only con. She doesn't want to change her lifestyle, and he's content, you know, as is. He's content with living, like, I guess, a more humble lifestyle, and you know, she doesn't want to change. And I have been saying since the beginning, I just don't feel like she should have to. If she's contributing the most to this situation, she's coming in with the savings, she has the job, and she's going to be paying the bulk of the bills, I'm sure, then I feel like her disposable income is hers to spend. And so this is what makes me feel like Gil is a little bit insecure because he's just overly critical of her at this point. It's every time they sit down and, you know, they have a great moment together, he always has to ruin it by picking out everything he does not like about her. He just picks at her, and she just like, she takes it like a G, okay? She takes it much better than I would, because I would be turning that finger right back around and be pointing out some stuff I didn't like too after a while. You ain't finna just continue to criticize me and try to break me down. I feel like she's even been working on her complaining. Like, on these last couple of outings, like, she hasn't really complained too much since he's like really kind of put his foot down about it. So I feel like even she's working on that. So they're sitting down, and you know, Mirla, she'll say certain things like, you'll get to be with this fabulous woman. And I don't think she's like being 100% serious. She sounds like she's being funny or joking around or whatever. Whenever she says stuff like that, like, I'll even say stuff like that, like, you get to be with the, you know, you get to be with this, you know, all of this or whatever. It's a joke. But he like took that opportunity to like try to knock her all the way down. It's easy to say no to that. It's easy to say no to that. And then of course, you know, he had to bring up her finances and bring up how negative she is. And you know, he claims that she feels superior, but I think it's you that feels inferior because you can't floss the way she does. I saw you in that Gucci on Unfiltered. Are you mad because you can't make those big purchases that she does? I mean, because it's sounding like a personal problem at this point. He said that he came from nothing and he works hard for his money. And I'm like, and she didn't? Clearly, she had to go through years of schooling and, you know, getting her degrees in order to make it to this point to be making the money that she makes now. You saw the shack that she grew up in. Don't try to make it seem like she was born with a silver spoon in her mouth and she just grew up spoiled. She spoils herself because she deserves to spoil herself because she works hard for her money as well. So don't do that. I didn't like the way he tried to discount her hard work. And I'm like, how is she a brat and spoiled when she purchases her own things? It's not like she's going to be spending your money. You know what I'm saying? She buys these things with her own money. So how is that being spoiled? And also, it's like he feels like just because he's not a person that likes to spend a lot of money, that his mentality is better than hers. And it just means y'all like different things. That doesn't mean one person's mentality is right or wrong. Y'all just differ. And he tries to make her seem like she's a bad person for liking designer purses and shoes. And that's a stretch. So when they were in front of everybody, he said that he will leave her if she continues to live like she's single and she's selfish. And he literally said this in front of the entire group, like literally cutting down his wife in front of everybody. I thought this was like one of the nastiest moves he's ever pulled. It reminded me of on the honeymoons when he was basically calling her a toddler and that he had to feed her and put her to sleep whenever she starts complaining. I thought that was very disrespectful, especially to talk about your wife that way in front of everybody. And once again, Mirla took it much better than I would because she kind of like joked her way out of it. But honey, let me tell you something. I would have been reading him down. Do not try to embarrass me in front of everybody. And I'm one of those people that believe in, you know, couples need to have a united front in front of everybody. But if you're gonna come at me like that in front of everybody, best believe guns is blazing, baby. Don't try me in front of everybody like that now. I'm not playing, because if you try to tell me, basically calling me a bad wife in front of everybody, well, I'm gonna show them how you a bad husband. Because if I lay out your finances, if I lay out your lack of savings in front of everybody, how would you feel? How would you feel if I brought up your shortcomings? Then that would be emasculating. And then later on in the episode, he was talking with his mom about her, and I'm like, he's making it seem like she's wanting him to pay for everything. And did I miss where she asked him to pay for everything? Like, you have it in your mind that the man is the sole provider and has to pay all the bills and do this and do that. Did she ask for that? Because Mirla strikes me as the type, if you don't have enough to cover it, I want it, so I don't mind paying for it. You know what I'm saying? She strikes me as that type. I don't think she's really looking to you. You just have it set in your mind that the man pays for everything. But did she ever ask that from you? Like, I feel like some of these people need to realize your marriage is what you make it. Whatever y'all decide is, you know, how the finances are split up. That's how it will go. It doesn't have to be the man takes care of everything. If she doesn't mind splitting it 50-50, or, you know, paying more because she wants a fancy apartment, a high rise or whatever. I believe it was Iyanla. I saw a clip on Iyanla. The man takes his, you know, check and he'll put half of that in an account. The woman takes half her check and put that in an account, and then you have your own separate accounts for the other half. And I feel like that's a good way to make this equal. Like, you contribute what you can. Yes, her half is going to be more than your half, but you're still being equal, if that makes sense. I feel like that would be a good way to divvy up the money. You're kind of like making it seem like she's emasculating you, and you're doing it to yourself. It doesn't have to be that way. You're putting all this pressure on yourself. Gil, you just really disappointed me this episode. I did not think that you were this insecure. It truly came out like right before decision day, and I hope she sees this and takes this into account when she decides whether she wants to be with you or not, because I don't know if I could deal with that for the rest of my life. Anyway, you guys, let me know how y'all feel down below. Do you agree with me? Do you not agree with me? I would love to hear your opinion, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Peace.